Hi, I'm Nick Gallia, CEO at 3CX. We develop a software-based VoIP phone system for Microsoft Windows that completely replaces a proprietary PBX. Today, I'd like to give you a brief presentation on the key features of our new 3CX phone system version 7.
So let's start with probably the biggest visible change to our IP PBX, the totally new user interface. What we've done here is create a user interface that looks more like an MMC Windows style interface, with nodes grouping the core configuration functions on the left and the configuration of those functions on the right. This should prove much more intuitive for the administrator. We've also used the latest in web development technologies and been able to keep the console web-based, even though it looks like a management console. Under the hood of this new interface, there has been considerable change. Goal of this change was to be able to develop the software faster and more efficiently and to be more tightly integrated with Windows. After all, our ability to run on Windows is a key unique selling point. So we adopted the use of .NET instead of PHP and replaced Apache with an inbuilt Microsoft provided lightweight web server. It's also possible to use IIS instead, so as to achieve virtually unlimited scalability. By utilizing these modern development technologies, which are much more advanced than their Linux counterparts, we will have a tremendous advantage over our Asterisk-based competition. Because of this, we can release more features, more reliably, and in a shorter time span. We have also revamped the MyPhone user portal. We consider this an important, unique selling point, allowing users to configure their extension themselves and effectively delivering mobility. First of all, we made the page better looking. We are also adding the ability to manage voicemail messages from this page. Also in the works, and should be delivered as a free update in about a month's time, is a completely new operator panel, allowing users to see presence of other users, monitor queues, take calls from queues, all of this without having to install the VoIP client. We've also added a new configuration wizard to make the initial install even more streamlined. This allows the user to get up and running as fast as possible after download of the software. The wizard takes the user through the key steps of configuration. Right now we have added the key steps, but in future versions we are going to walk the user through the entire configuration, including VoIP provider configuration. 3CX phone system version 7 is easier to manage and control. One of the major advantages of a Windows-based system is that it is easier to manage and control because it's just another Windows Server application. Administrators can use familiar controls for services, logging, etc. to check that the phone system is up and running. And we've beefed up these management features in version 7. Besides being able to monitor the status, processor and memory usage of 3CX services, you can now also monitor the number of calls, registered phones, registered ports, and much more via performance monitors. And in the event of a VoIP provider line or a gateway failing to re-register, a Windows event will be posted. So now it's easy to integrate these counters into your standard network monitoring solution. We're also considering working on a Microsoft Operations Manager add-in pack. Again, this ability to monitor 3CX via the familiar Windows interface is a big advantage over our Asterisk-based competitors. A big advantage of 3CX is that you can virtualize it. Virtualization is a hot topic. Rather than dedicate a server or buy an appliance, you can use excess server capacity and run 3CX phone system as a virtual instance. This allows you to save on hardware, energy, and administration costs. It was already possible to use VMware with 3CX phone system. However, for version 7, we have done extensive testing and optimization for Hyper-V. The new Hyper-V, built in Windows 2008, or available as a free download, is a great virtualization platform for 3CX. because it uses hypervisor technology, it has much improved I/O performance, which is of course crucial for a PBX. You can now virtualize much larger environments. We have tested up to 64 calls on a relatively modest server. Other advantages of Hyper-V are that there is no cost for an additional operating system license. You have up to 4 Windows licenses included with your version of Windows, depending on which version of Windows you have bought. Also, you can use the inbuilt management tools to manage the virtual instances. This virtualization is a key selling factor against appliances. Appliance vendors might point out that our software requires a server. However, 3CX does not require a separate server either. As a virtual instance, it also offers more control, better scalability, and better reliability than an appliance. Virtualized also means that you can easily back up your whole PBX system. You can use the Hyper-V backup function to save a complete copy of your IP PBX, and if it's small enough, you can even burn it on a DVD. The great thing is that in the event of a hardware failure, you can have 3CX up and running on another machine in a matter of minutes. Compare that to having a hardware failure on an appliance. What do you do then? Basically, you'd need to get another and hope that the latest version of this appliance is able to restore files from these older versions. An appliance blowing up is definitely a reality. The mean time before failure of these appliances has nothing to do with the MTBF of modern, reliable server hardware. In version 7 we now also support Sangoma cards. Sangoma cards are much cheaper than VoIP gateways and can be useful for many applications. The new versions of Sangoma come with NetBorder Express software that allows you to access the card as if it were a gateway, so you can install the Sangoma card on the Windows system on which 3CX is running or on another system. In the last case, you can actually still virtualize 3CX. The end user price of a Sangoma card is around $1,200. One of the key features of a VoIP PBX is to offer users better mobility and more control of their extension. In version 7 we have added more advanced call forwarding rules, allowing the user to more accurately configure behavior of his extension. For example, the user can route calls based on caller ID, on time received, and whether they are internal or external. You could, for example, configure that calls from certain important customers are forwarded to your mobile after office hours and other calls to your voicemail. You could do the same for internal calls and create, for example, an exception for your boss. It is now also possible using the latest 3CX VoIP client to integrate with Tappy software to allow an inbound call to automatically pop up caller's details. This can work with Outlook or in fact any other CRM system. The VoIP client can create a Tappy event with a caller ID or run a custom executable with caller ID as a parameter. This is ideal for customer service departments, for example. We've also built a powerful API to allow all configuration of the PBX to be programmable. This is great for system integrators that want to integrate with custom applications. This is reserved for larger custom projects. But we also have a call control API which allows applications to see call status and take control of calls. This API should be available soon after release. So to recap on our new features in version 7, we've made our platform more extensible, improved the user interface, made it more integrated with Windows, capitalized on Hyper-V, added support for Sangoma cards, and made our user experience better. In a few words, 3CX phone system is now more complete and easier to use. So those are the key features of version 7. Thank you for your attention, and please visit our blog at www.3cx.com/blog and post your feedback.